This podcast contains discussions of coercive control, post-separation abuse, child welfare investigations, and emotional abuse. Listener discretion is advised. Hi, and welcome back to After the Quiet. This is episode 97. When people think about post-separation abuse, they often picture angry emails, court battles, or arguments over parenting schedules. But sometimes it comes in the form of anonymous phone calls. Calls that bring strangers to your front door. One afternoon, I came home from work and noticed a business card tucked into my front door. It was a caseworker with Children's Aid Society. She had been to my house to conduct a wellness check. My heart dropped. I had absolutely no idea why. I called her back immediately, and we arranged a time for her to come to my house. By then, she had already spoken with my children. When she arrived, she explained why she'd been called. Someone had reported that my house was filthy, that it was a pigsty, that it had never been cleaned after my 40th birthday party. According to the report, there were beer bottles everywhere. The implication was obvious, that my home wasn't safe for my children. Before she even came inside, she told me something that has always stayed with me. She said that when she first came to leave her business card, she had walked around my property and looked through the windows. She wanted to see if there were any immediate concerns. She told me she hadn't seen anything. I explained that yes, I had celebrated my 40th birthday. I even laughed a little and pointed to the large number 4 and 0 that were still sitting on my fireplace mantle. The decorations simply hadn't come down yet. But this wasn't some wild party. It was friends. The people who helped me survive one of the hardest years of my life. She asked if she could look around the house. I said absolutely. She walked through every room, asked a few questions, and then she left. About a week later, I received her report. It documented exactly what she had observed. Her conclusion was simple. She had no concerns. I remember feeling relieved. I thought, okay, it's over. At that point, my boys were spending every other weekend with me. We were slowly building our relationship. I truly believed that chapter had closed. Then, my phone rang again. It was Children's Aid. Another investigation. I remember they were sitting wondering, what could it possibly be this time? This time, someone had reported that I was an alcoholic. Why? Because there was a photograph of me on social media holding what appeared to be a clear drink. That was enough for someone to call Children's Aid. The report also claimed that I had no food in my fridge, that I fed my children nothing but McDonald's. Again, the caseworker came to my home. Again, I welcomed her inside. I showed her my pantry. Friends had given me a few bottles of wine for my birthday. They were still sealed. Someone had even bought me a bottle of tequila as a gift. Still sealed. The truth is, I've never been much of a drinker. The bottles had simply been sitting there untouched. Then she asked to see my kitchen. She opened the refrigerator, the freezer, the cupboards. They were full. Again, there were no concerns. But she still had to interview my children. Listening to parts of that report afterward were heartbreaking. My boys told her that I fed them McDonald's, and they weren't completely wrong. But they weren't telling the whole story either. I cooked. Often. Home-cooked meals. They simply refused to eat them. And I was terrified. Terrified that they would go back to their dad and say, "Mom didn't feed us." So eventually, I stopped arguing. I bought them what they wanted. Usually McDonald's. Not because I believed it was good parenting. Because I was trying to survive another allegation that hadn't even happened yet. Then she asked them about alcohol. My oldest son said, "I've never seen Mom drink at home, but I saw a picture of her on social media holding a clear drink." My middle son gave an answer that still makes me smile. He said, "My mom likes pop." The worker asked, "Does she put anything in it?" And he answered, "No." And then my daughter, my sweet little 6-year-old, said something completely different. She told the worker, "Mom cooks me lots of food." And then she proudly added, "My favorite is her spaghetti." Children have a way of telling the truth without realizing how important it is. Once again, Children's Aid closed the file. No concerns, no findings, nothing. Looking back, I'm grateful those workers took the time to actually investigate, instead of simply accepting anonymous allegations as fact. They looked, they listened, they documented. And twice, they concluded my children were safe. But even when an investigation ends, it doesn't mean the anxiety ends. After those experiences, I questioned everything. Every parenting decision, every grocery purchase, every photograph, every social media post. I found myself asking, could this be misunderstood? Will someone report this? Am I doing enough? That's one of the invisible effects of repeated investigations. You begin parenting from a place of fear instead of confidence. Then came the weekend that changed everything. All 3 of my children were with me, as usual. The requests started: fast food, money for gaming systems. This time, I said no. I finally put my foot down. Almost immediately, everything escalated. My oldest son became incredibly angry. He grabbed a small step stool from the kitchen. He threw it down the staircase. Then he smashed the stool into pieces. I just stood there, frozen, heartbroken. This wasn't the little boy I remembered. This was a child caught in something much bigger than himself. A child carrying emotions he didn't know how to manage. Of course, he called his dad. He said he wanted to go home. And in that moment, I felt completely powerless. I wasn't going to physically stop him. I couldn't. And honestly, I don't think forcing him to stay either would help. As he walked out that door, I remembered thinking, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. No matter what I chose, it felt wrong. If I bought the fast food, I worried I was becoming the parent who had to purchase love. If I said no, I risked losing time with my children. It felt impossible. And that's exactly what coercive control often creates. Impossible choices. Choices where every obstacle hurts. Thank you for listening to After the Quiet. If today's episode resonated with you, please follow the podcast and share it with someone who may need to hear it. Because sometimes abuse doesn't just try to destroy your reputation. Sometimes it makes you question whether you're even capable of being the parent you've always been. And that may be one of the deepest wounds of all.